Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm actually going to be covering my experience at Walker Stalker. I attended Walker Stalker about 2 months ago when they came back to Portland, and it was the first time I have ever gone. Oh my god guys, you do not understand how much fun I had at this convention. I've heard a lot of stuff about Walker Stalker Con and all the cool stuff that happens there. I've never gone before, and the reason being is there's never been one close enough. Last year that changed because they started coming to Portland, Oregon. Now the first time that they came, I unfortunately wasn't able to go because I was over in the UK when they had the convention. So I had to miss out on the first year, but I was determined to go when I heard that they were going to come back. And as soon as I heard that Norman Reedus was going, who I have already met, when I heard Jeffrey Dean freaking Morgan was going, Papa Winchester, I was like, yeah, your girl, she's going. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Walker Stalker, it is a convention that happens all over the country. They do a couple international shows as well in Germany, London, and Australia. And it's more Walking Dead centric. They do have other people and other guests from different shows, different movies, but it is mainly Walking Dead convention. But it is so much fun, guys. So if you even aren't a Walking Dead fan and you see people that you like going, go to it. It is a blast. You're gonna thank yourself because you are gonna have an amazing time. When I was originally looking at tickets, I was gonna go general admission, but when I did hear that Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan were announced, I knew for a fact that if I had done general admission, it would have I probably would not have been able to meet them because I've seen and heard stories about their lines, and I knew that my chances of actually getting to meet them would have been really freaking slim. One thing that Walker Stalker and both FanFest that did Heroes and Villains combined with Walker Stalker at Portland is that they do offer discounts and promos throughout the year. So they have different stuff going, like buy one get two passes, 50% off general admission weekend. And the one I found was, I believe it was a one day only that they were doing it, and there was limited numbers, but they had 50% off general VIP. And VIP was already not that expensive. I think it was around $230, $250, I want to say. I don't remember the exact prices, but it was 50% off general VIP. And I was like, click. Buy. Yeah, I snatched those tickets up as quickly as I could because I was never going to get a better price than 50% off general admission. General admission, sorry, my brain's kind of like off. General VIP is what I meant. So I got my tickets and I got my Norman pre-auto because he did sell his. Him and Stephen Ewan did pre-auto sales. No one else did. I was very surprised Jeffrey Dean Morgan didn't do it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Day of the actual con, I was so freaking stoked, guys. You don't understand. I had to get up like at 4 in the freaking morning, and if you guys don't know me, I love my sleep. I could win a gold medal in the freaking Olympics for sleeping because that's how much I love it. That was really hard having to get up at 4 a.m. for a 2-hour drive to Portland and possibly hitting traffic, so I was not looking forward to that. And if anybody's ever driven in Portland, or if you live in Portland, I'm sorry, but the freaking driving there is terrifying, and I will take driving in Seattle over driving in Portland any day of the week. But everything went smooth. I didn't hit any big traffic. I was late by 30 minutes for the VIP entrance, because one of the perks about that is if you're platinum, gold, or you have the VIP pass, you get let in early before general admission. And I thought it was 30 minutes before general admission. No, it was an hour and a half that they let people, the VIPs, in. And that was really cool because I've only ever done VIPs and they only ever let you 30 minutes in before general admission. So this was really cool because that gave people time to go on the floor, to scope out the vendors, to queue up for the people they wanted to see. And yeah, so thumbs up for that. Will call wasn't too bad. I got through it like 15 minutes, got my badge, got all my stuff redeemed and all of that fun stuff. Went through security pretty easily, didn't put a lot of stuff in my bag. The show floor, oh my god guys, if you guys have never been to a convention, you do not know how amazing it is to finally step onto the show floor. Oh my god. was amazing. Like, everywhere I could see was just booths and photo op areas and stages and music, and there were the tattoo area set up, and I was so tempted to get a tattoo. I actually got my All Is Well done in Wizard World about 2-3 years ago when I first went, and I was thinking about getting another tattoo there, but fortunately didn't do it and wanted to save money. Now, I could have spent the entire freaking day on the show floor just looking and just buying everything and going into debt and living out of a cardboard box with my amazing stuff. But I didn't. No, see, this girl, she had a plan. Yes, I decided my two biggest people I wanted to get were Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I planned out to do Jeffrey D. Morgan's the next day, Sunday, and just dedicate that day to him, getting his autograph, getting my photo op with him. And I was going to do the Saturday getting my Norman autograph and getting all the other autographs that I wanted to get that day, and just kind of relaxing, enjoying the panels and all that jazz. So I headed immediately over to Norman Reedus' line, and I was the first in the general VIP line to line up. How Walker Stalker has it set up is they have one line for platinum, they have one line for gold, one line for general VIP, and then the rest of it for general admission. There was a couple of other people for gold and platinum that were already waiting in line, so I was the first one general VIP. I keep saying general admission. See how tired I am. But I was right up at the front and I could see his table, and I was like, oh my god, I am going to see him when he first comes out, and I don't know if my heart can take this, because you guys, I love Norman Reedus so much. I met Norman about 3 years ago in Emerald City Comic Con, and I about lost my shit with him. I was cool, calm, and collected in his line. The moment I got up to his table, I was a ball and mess. So glad I did not wear makeup that day, because I would have looked like a damn raccoon by the end of it. And he had been so sweet, made me laugh, because he had grabbed my shoulders and shook me and just made me smile. Ended up going the next day again to get another autograph with him and be completely composed this time, which I thankfully was. And he actually ended up being super awesome. I was able to talk with him, and he actually gave me a bracelet he was wearing. He had been holding my hand, which he does a lot with his fans, which are so cool. And he had a bracelet and he slid it on my wrist as we were talking. When that happened, guys, your girl had nearly passed the freak out. I'm surprised I did not hit that damn floor with how shocked I had been. I lost every function in my brain. I was not able to speak any coherent sentences, and I again became a blubbering mess. So yeah. Anyway, I was determined this time to be calm, cool, and collected, since I had already met Norman, and I had been wearing makeup that day for my Negan cosplay, which I will put a photo right here. Now, it took a while for Norman to come out. His autograph said that he was signing from, I want to say 9 a.m. to 12. Don't remember the exact time, but he was significantly late. And just be aware of that, because that happens sometimes. So try and just relax, you know, don't let it like get you upset. Talk with people in the queue, make new friends, bring something to occupy your time with, and it'll go by a lot quicker. How long it took, but finally he comes out. Everybody's cheering and it was amazing, and Norman is just a beautiful human creature that I have ever seen, and if you guys have seen him on TV, it is not even compared to what he looks like in real life. And it was awesome. He was wearing his glasses too, which is very rare. It's like a freaking unicorn when you don't see him with his sunglasses on. Okay. How they did it was they let most of the platinum go first because they had priority. Then they let a few gold, and then they were gonna do a few general VIP. It took about maybe 20 minutes before I finally was able to get up. My voucher over to the lady and was completely calm. I was doing so awesome. Very proud of myself. Finally get up to Norman, and he just looks at me and he's like, "Hi, sweetheart," and he like pulls me over by my hand, and I'm just holding on to his hand, not letting go, because I never want to let go. I had wanted to give him a present because it was a week after his birthday, and I wanted to give him something that was easy to carry but something that meant a lot to me that I wanted to give to him. And that was a photo of a photography print I had done in the very beginning of when I started really getting into photography. And I thought that he would really love that. So I told him, "Hi, I have a present for you. It is a late birthday present." And as soon as I said that, he was just like, "Gimme, gimme, 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 gimme." I handed him over the photo and he took it. He is like looking at it and he's just like in awe, and he's just like, "This is so awesome. Did you do this?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I took it. It's one of my earlier pieces that I've done." And he's asking me questions about it. He's asking me where it was, what kind of camera I used, all those kind of stuff. And he's just, "I love this." And he's like, "Thank you so much, sweetheart." And he hugs me. We finally get to what I'm getting signed. And since I am graduating this year, I decided to do a Walking Dead themed grad cap. And this is the cover of it. You can't see it says "We Are the Walking Dead." And I have a bunch of the actor's signature on it. I have a few others that I'm actually gonna cut out and paste around. And I have Norman's right here. It says, "To Megan, congrats, XOX, Norman." He saw that, he was like, "Is this a grad cap?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I'm graduating this year." And he's like, "Oh, congratulations." Gave me another high five. And he started asking me questions about what I'm studying, what I want to do, just being an awesome guy, and all at the same time still holding on to my damn hand. So as he's signing, I'm still talking with him, and I talked to him about the bracelet that he gave me 3 years ago, telling him I wore it to exams, that they helped me pass. Again, he gives me another high five, and he's like, "You better hold on to that bracelet or I'm taking it back." And I'm like, "You're gonna have to pry it out of my cold, dead fingers." And he just laughs and he's like, "Get out of here." And I'm like, "I will," because I'm about to start crying. And I step out, and I was clearly good through the entire thing. The moment I stepped past that curtain, tears. I was crying and shaking and just looking like a damn fool, but I was so happy. Once I was done with Norman's, and after I composed myself, I headed over to Chandler's line, since it was right next door. Chandler was such a sweetheart. This was the first time I've ever met Chandler Riggs, and he was so awesome. I love the character Carl, and it was devastating when we lost him on The Walking Dead. So being able to meet him right now, it was really, really cool. When I stepped up, he saw my grad cap and he asked, "Oh, did you just graduate?" And I'm like, "No, not yet. I'm graduating this coming few months from college." And we actually just talked about that because since he just graduated high school and since he's gonna be going into college, I was kind of giving him a few advice, tips and stuff like how to survive college. After Chandler, I ended up going to my other autographs. And one of the good things about the VIP pass is that it did give you your own line, and that made it really quick getting other autographs. Like the most I had to wait was like 2 minutes for some of those autographs, and it was quick. Most of them were just walk up and I was able to get my autograph, get my selfie, and be done with it. And it was so convenient, so I definitely recommend getting them. I ended up going to John Bernthal's first, who played Shane Walsh and who is currently playing the Punisher in The Punisher on Netflix, which, by the way, is such a good show. If you guys have not watched it yet, I highly recommend it. It is really, really good. Good storyline, good characters, and John Berthal is just kicking ass playing the Punisher. John was awesome. He wasn't too talkative, but he was still really nice, and he congratulated me on my upcoming graduation, gave me a high five, and when I told him that I had binge watched, I think, the Punisher in like a day, including with Daredevil, he like looked at me and he's like, "Damn girl, that is like some dedication." I'm like, "Yeah," and it was during finals week, so that really didn't help, but I still passed. And he's like awesome. After I met him, I went over to Tom Payne, who plays Jesus, and I originally was only gonna get a autograph with him, but I saw that he was doing selfies and they had like a combined total, so you kind of got a discounted price for a selfie and autograph. So I decided to do that, and I will put some of those selfies right here. I loved meeting Tom. He was so amazing, and his accent, guys, if you guys don't know, British accents are like my kryptonite. They make my knees like jelly, and I could just listen to him talk all day and just be content. And he was so lovely, just very sweet, and he honestly takes the best selfie pictures. Like, as you can tell, they're some of my favorites from the convention, and they are on my phone background because they're pretty damn cool. He was awesome, and he even wrote "Jesus loves you" on the autograph, which is pretty cool because people are gonna be like, "Jesus loves you." I'm like, well, it's another Jesus, but yeah, you know. After him, I ended up going over to Michael Cutlet's line, and I enjoyed meeting him as well. I ended up getting a selfie with him, of course, too, which I will put in right here. Michael actually took a lot of time with the people that he was interacting with, which I really appreciated. I know that with some of the bigger stars, they can't do that because they have to get through so many people. So it's nice that the other stars are able to take time to make it really personal for the fans that are coming, and it just makes it a better event. He actually had some fun with me because he was telling me like, well, you're not graduated yet. I mean, you still got 1/4, so I'm like, dude, I'm already stressed out as it is. Do not put that on me. It's like I'm just messing with you. You're gonna graduate. So he was really cool. So rest in peace, Abraham, because I miss you on that show. The other 2 autographs after that, I got Stephen Ogg and Amelia Austin, who I originally wasn't gonna get either of theirs, but I saw that their prices weren't too bad, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see your boss in the morning, so might as well see you guys. They're really nice too. Like I said, everybody in that damn cast is nice, and I didn't have one bad experience with any of them, and they just made it like an amazing experience for me, and they were all giving me awesome advice for college and what to do afterwards, and it kind of helped me a little bit, so thank you all. After that, I ended up going to Chandler Ray's panel, and that was really one of the only panels I went to because I was really interested to hear like what he had to say about his character being killed off, and all of that. And I actually got to ask the first question, and if I find a video of it, I'll link it below. I will link it below, and you guys can hear it. I asked him like what he would want to take from the set, and I think he actually said that he was able to take the hat that Carl wore in the show that Rick gives him. And I thought that was really cool because I love that hat, and it's just been around for so long, and it's very meaningful for both Rick and Carl as in that father-son dynamic. So after the panel, I ended up going over to Ross Marquand's booth, and I tried to go earlier, but he was actually away at photo ops, and I wasn't actually going to get his autograph, but the volunteers there said that he was so awesome that it just made me want to change my mind. I'm like, I have to meet Ross now. He was doing combos he was doing selfies, autographs, and he was doing videos. As you know, he does celebrity impressions, and they were pretty freaking cool. So I decided to do a video and an autograph. When Ross finally came out, he was so awesome and just the sweetest guy I've ever met, and he actually kind of made the event for me, like over even like Norman and Jeffrey, who were awesome. He was so cool. Like, I was one of the first people to go up, and I walk over, and he walks around his table, and he pulls me into a hug, and he's like, hey, how are you? He was so nice. And when he was signing my grad cap, he was asking me questions about where I was graduating from and all of that, and I told him, I was like, oh, I'm graduating from Tacoma. And he's like, really? I was in Tacoma a few years ago. I did a short film there. And we were just talking about how much we love the area, how much we love Washington, just the nature, the mountains, trees, all of that fun stuff. Finally got to the video. He was like, is there a certain impression you want me to do? And I'm like, whatever you want to do, I trust you, Ross. And he did a Christopher Walken impression, and I thought it was so cool, and I will link a video to that below right now or in the video itself. So after Ross, I kind of walked around the show floor for a while because I didn't have anything else I really wanted to do. The last thing I did that day was the Six Sherry panel, and I had no idea what this was, what I was in for. What I said on the app was, some of the cast from Walking Dead you're gonna play games and probably win some cool prizes. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. Turns out that was like the highlight of my freaking con. Like, oh my god, guys. If you go to Walker Stalker and this is one of the panels, I highly recommend going. It is so much fun. Basically what it was a giant ass game of Pictionary. And they had Stephen Ogg and Pollyanna McIntosh, who played Jadis, on one team, the evil guys. And they had Seth Gilliam, who plays Father Gabriel, and of course, my amazing person, Ross Marquand, on the other team as the good guys. And they were actually able to pick one person from the audience to be on each of their teams for Pictionary. You guys, I have never in my entire life shot my hand up that freaking fast. I mean, I was flailing around like a freaking dead fish. I had Lucille in my hand, just waving her, like trying not to hit anybody because I was so freaking excited. I wanted to get called up. So Simon and Pollyanna picked their person. Ross heard my like animalistic shrieks and saw me, recognized me, and pointed me out. He's like, yeah, come on. And I'm like me, you're talking to this girl? I was like speechless. I was like, oh my god, I'm doing this. I'm getting up on stage and I'm playing Pictionary with like my favorite people on the entire earth. How is this even happening? How am I walking? How am I not passed out on the freaking ground right now? So I get up to the stage and Ross immediately pulls me into a hug. He's like, are you excited? I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. And Seth, I shake Seth's hand. He's like, nice to meet you. And we get into play. I'm the first one up, and you guys, I'm usually pretty good at Pictionary. My brain just wasn't working then. I got Iron Man, right? I'm a huge Marvel fan. Probably some of you all are too. What would you draw to represent Tony Stark? Maybe draw a person with a, goatee, maybe Avengers Tower, the reactor core, the hand with the core, that all makes sense, right? You would have easily got that, right? This dumbass right here draws an ironing board, an iron, and a stick figure. Really? And I'm like flailing, pointing at this paper, trying to get them to say Tony Stark, and I'm just not doing it. And I hear somebody yell out, Tony Stark, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like trying to telepathically communicate to Ross and Seth, listen to that audience member, because that's who I'm trying to draw. Ended up not getting it, so we ended up not winning, but it was still so much fun. I had a blast, and I ended up getting to keep one of the drawings that Ross did, and he did Kermit the Frog, which I still have. I had him sign it, Seth sign it, and Pollyanna sign it, and I'm still trying to figure out where to put it up in my apartment because it is pretty cool. So that was awesome, and I still can't believe I got to go up and do that, and I'm hoping to do that at another con because that was amazing. For day 2 of the con, that was my day that I had reserved for Mr. Jeffrey Dean freaking Morgan. I knew his would be crazy. I knew his lines would be crazy. So I knew that I would have to queue up for him as soon as possible. I think I get to the venue pretty damn early, right? Walk in, head up to go toward the doors to get my bat, the safety thing on, because I actually didn't get it the other day. They didn't ask me, so I'm like, might as well go try. Finally find a volunteer, and I ask them, hey, is there a line for VIP? And they're like, oh yeah, it's over there. Over there where I had originally thought general admissions had been. So I was the only VIP that had thought ahead to get to the venue freaking early. The line wasn't too bad, like some of the stuff I saw. And they finally let us all in. And as I had suspected, everybody and their mother made their way over to Jeffrey's line. The gold line was filled up, platinum was mostly filled up, and they had actually started lining the general VIPs out in like a makeshift line, because that's where everybody was going. They ended up having to move our line into the general admission area because there were so many VIPs that were queuing up for him that they needed to clear out the walkway that they had lined us up in. I probably waited in that line, the first part of it, 3.5 hours. And Jeffrey, of course, was a bit late, but like I said, I don't really care about that. I mean, he was the only thing I was doing that day, so I didn't mind too much. Come out, it did take a while because he was taking his time with people, and he wasn't getting through a lot of people. And as the time ticked, realized that he was gonna have to leave soon for his photo ops, which I had a ticket for in one of the first groups. So inside, I'm internally panicking because I'm at a good spot in the line that if I get out of this, my chances of getting back in line at this point are slim to none. So your girl's having a panic attack inside, and I'm just trying not to visibly start freaking out as the time clicks away from me to get out of line to go to my photo op. I pulled over a volunteer and asked them, hey, I have to leave and go get my photo op. I don't want to leave this line. I've been here since like 9 in the freaking morning. And I had to say the volunteers that were helping in that area did a really good job. They had to deal with a lot of like angry people and making sure everybody was where they were supposed to be, and they did a really good job. She did tell me, she was like, if you have to get out of line, we'll remember you and we'll put you back in line. So I was like, okay, whew, I'm okay, I don't have to worry about it. So Jeffrey ended up having to leave to go to his photo ops, and something they did that I thought was really smart was they gave out blue tickets to everybody that was in line. So everybody that had been in line since 9 a.m. that had stayed got a blue ticket with numbers on it that corresponded to what spot you were in line. So you could come back, they would put you in the part of the line that you were in, and you would be okay. They weren't letting any other people in. I don't think they were letting any other VIPs in, only the people that had the blue tickets. So I get out of line and I head over to the photo op area, and they call our group, we get in line. And I've done photo ops before, so I know how quick they are. I practiced what I wanted to tell him, what I wanted to say in my pose, and I knew that I didn't have a lot of time with him. This is the first time I've ever seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan, mind you. Get up, get through the curtain. I'm okay, I'm setting my stuff down. I turn, and it's just him. And I'm like, holy macaroni Jesus, take the wheel, because this man is glorious. Oh my god, Norman Reedus was gorgeous in real life. No siree. Mr. JDM is pretty dang fine for being like a 52-year-old man. I mean, whew. I'm standing there staring at him like a freaking like stalker. And it's finally my turn. I step up, I have my Negan cosplay on with Lucille, and he sees it and he's just like, nice. And I'm like, hey, I want to do a pose where we're fighting over Lucille. And he immediately gets into it. He literally like takes that bat like it's his, grabs it, and I grab the other side, and we take the photo, which I am posting right here. After the photo, I know that they're going to be rushing me out, as I'm not even 2 steps away from this man. And he pulls me into a hug. Now, they discourage you hugging the people unless it's in the photo, because they need to get through people, right? He initiated the hug, so my ass was taking full advantage of it. I was hugging him back, and I did not want to let go, people. I was like, they're gonna have to pry me off him with the jaws of life, because I never want to leave the spot. He says, you know, it's good to see you, darling. I'm like, I will see you soon in your autograph line. And then they're finally being shoved out by, you know, the people. I still had a couple of time to kill before I actually had to get back in line for Jeffrey D. Morgan. And I decided to go back to Ross's table because, light bulb, I came up with the greatest idea. You guys, I am entered into the Ultimate Walking Dead fan contest that they are having, which I actually have a link below. If you guys want to check it out, vote for me. It's Megan Wilson, Megan W. Please do that. It would be amazing. It would mean the world to me to win this, to be on The Talking Dead, and I hope you guys do. I did a rap video about how much I love The Walking Dead. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get Ross into it. I changed the ending of my rap to include Ross. When I told him my idea, he was so for it. So we get out, I give my phone to the volunteer, and I just start going into it. Ross had no clue what the guy was doing, because he looks shocked as hell in that video, which I can understand. I am a white girl rapping, so he probably didn't think I could lay down some bars, but I did. After the video, he was so shocked, and he was so like, oh my god, did you hear this? And he was so impressed, and he was like, if you don't win, I'm gonna be so upset. So that video actually did get into the voting period for The Talking Dead, for the contest. It is a different video on there now because I did get a call from Talking Dead. They love my video, but legally they weren't able to show it on TV because of the Walker Stalker background, because they aren't affiliated with them. So I did have to re-upload it with a neutral background in my Negan cosplay. So it kind of sucks that I had to take that down, but I still enjoyed it and it was really fun. And like I said, please go vote for me. It would mean the world to me. Also, please vote for Chelsea on there as well. She is a friend that I met through this contest, and we have been supporting each other through this, because if I don't win, I would love for her to win. So please go vote for both of us. It would mean the world to the both of us. So please, because we are the ultimate fans. So thank you, and please do that. Okay, so after my little rap session with Ross, I headed over to Jeffrey D. Morgan's area, and they weren't letting people in the lineup area just yet. It took a while, but then they finally started calling out the numbers for people to get back in line, which went pretty smoothly. And even us fans that were in there were helping the volunteers, like, make sure that, okay, yeah, this person was here. When they were calling out numbers, we were calling out numbers to make sure that that person was there, or if they were still looking for them. So we all kind of banded together to help in this craziness. Waited another 2.5 hours after that for him to be done with his photo ops and for his break. And finally, I don't know how long I had been waiting. I felt like I'd been waiting all day for this man. Finally came back out. It took another 45 minutes, 45 to an hour for me to finally actually get up there. But you guys, it was so worth it. I finally got up there. I just see him and I'm like, he's still so beautiful to look at, and I was just staring at him and like an idiot, not saying anything, and I was speechless. Like, no words were coming to my mouth or to my brain. So yeah, I finally got up, paid for my autograph, went up to him, and he just smiled and he's like, hey Negan, and I'm like, hi. And I asked him how his day was, and he's like, oh, long. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand. And he's like, what do you got for me to sign? And I handed him my grad cap, and he's like, are you graduating? And I'm like, yep, I'm graduating with my college degree. And he's like, oh, congratulations. Like, what are you majoring in? What do you want to do? Asking me all these questions about it. And I told him all that stuff, and he was just so sweet, giving me encouragement. And we started talking about, like, because I was exhausted too. And I was like, I'm not looking forward to this drive back home. Like, I have 2 hours and I'm dead on my feet. This man looks at me with like a look that I'm like, he's like, are you serious? He looks at me and he's like, I got a red eye tonight, and then I got 6 hours driving tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, you win this one. I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, it's okay. He's like, you have a long drive too, so, you know, just stay safe out there. And then this man, this beautiful, beautiful human being, reaches across the table, pulls me into a hug. Second hug of the day, mind you, that he initiates. And he's just holding on to me. And he pulls away, and he's looking me dead in my soul, into the orbs of my soul. And he's like, it was lovely to meet you. Pulls away, he grabs my grad cap, looks down at it, looks up at me, kind of gives a little nod. He's like, congratulations, good luck. And he gives it to me, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And I literally can't speak. I step out of the curtain. Again, I burst out like a little girl because I just met Jeffrey D. Morgan, and it was the best moment of my entire life, people. That was really the end of the convention. I had to get home because I had to get back to reality of work and school, and it was a tough drive home because I just wanted to drive back, take a time machine, and just relive that entire weekend, because it was one of the best weekends of my life. And I highly recommend going to any Walker Stalker convention that you are able to go, because they are so much fun and you meet so many new people. The actors are awesome. You meet amazing fans that love the same stuff that you do, and they're excited about the same stuff that you do. It's just an amazing atmosphere. Speaking of going back to Walker Stalker, I will be going again next year to Portland when they come back in January. So if anybody is going, say hi to me because I would love to meet you guys. And I have decided that I am going to be taking on the ultimate task of going to Walker Stalker Atlanta next year. And I am going all in because I've heard Walker Stalker Atlanta is the biggest one, it is one of the funnest, and it is the most exciting. I'm going to be going all in. I am leaning towards platinum because I have heard that gold and platinum are the way to go if you want to meet some of the bigger stars. And since Atlanta is one of the ones that Andrew Lincoln sometimes does, I have my fingers crossed that I will get to meet him. So I am leaning more towards platinum because I may be able to get to meet him. And if I get to meet him, I'm going to be a pile of goo on the floor and I may just pass out this time. So if you hear anything about that, yeah, that girl that passes out in front of Andrew Lincoln, that's going to be me. Thank you guys again for watching my video. I hope to continue this. Remember to geek out, travel often, eat always. I will see you guys next time.